Rated M for mature.
If you're interested in working on your aim in any shooter, or indeed, getting good, this will help. A while ago, we showed you how to work on your aim in Sniper Elite 4, learning the specifics of the physics model, the period weaponry, that kind of thing. But in this video, we're going even bigger. Instead of merely getting your eye in for Sniper Elite shooting, we're going to use Sniper Elite as a tool to get your eye in for every game that rewards a good aim. Lesson 1 is lining up your crosshairs on that red button below the vid. Alright, now that is a joke, but we do love all our subscribers, and when you join, you get all of our new vids hassle-free. Anyway, looks like Carl's finished limbering up and he's ready for this aim training workout session, so we best not keep him waiting. He gets tetchy.
You, my friend, have something I want.
There are several stages to taking a great shot in a shooter. First, you need to actually spot someone to shoot, ideally before they spot you. This is less of a factor in those close-quarter shooters, but since battle royales like PUBG and Apex came along with our old friend Sniper Elite of course, it's been much more important to spot enemies at a long range and get the jump on them. So let's focus on that first. We can take two routes to improving our spotting ability. The first is to play the game in question a whole lot in multiplayer, and in that way, get used to the type of places where we usually see players, through windows, hiding in bushes, and every once in a while, the most delicious one of all, AFK and standing stock still right in the open. In Sniper Elite 4, it's especially important to spend time with the multiplayer maps, because they're often like a game of hide and seek. Not only can you train your spotting here, but learn some good locations to park yourself in later on too. Of course, it's always worth tagging enemies with the Beanos too, so that multiplayer opponents can't slink off and hide again if you lose a line of sight on them. Plus, it's good practice for battle royales that let you ping enemies to your teammates. The other approach is to fiddle with some settings. If you're playing on PC, lowering your resolution is on the table. This will make the game look less sharp and beautiful, yes, but it also makes small objects appear bigger. In pro gaming circles like CSGO, some players even use a 4:3 resolution on a 16:9 display to stretch the image and make enemy heads occupy more screen space. That's an extreme example, but if you can stomach the fidelity trade-off, give Sniper Elite 4 a go at a lower res and see if you find spotting easier. Then, apply it to other games. Lowering some graphic settings might also help some PC players to spot enemy player models more easily. In particular, try dropping shadow quality and simplifying lighting options. You'll always want to keep draw distance as far as possible though, so you can see enemies on the horizon. It might not look as pretty as Sniper Elite 4 can be, but in retrovision, it's sometimes easier to pick out movement and start lining up the shot. If you don't have the eyes of a peregrine falcon quite yet with that last tip, you can also recruit your ears to help out. Try dropping away all music and speech from the game audio mix in the sound options so that any player or enemy AI noises are easier to pick up. Some gaming headsets also feature a footsteps mode that amplifies sound sources nearer to you. Of course, footsteps aren't going to help you if you're playing a game where scoped rifle combat is commonplace, but it might be a bit easier to pick out gunfire and locate it if your audio settings are optimized.
Piece of cake.
By now, you've got a sense for where enemies tend to pop up in an area, and your game's working its hardest to show them as easily as possible when they do appear. The next technique to apply is pre-aiming. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Like, you're either aiming at something or you're not, aren't you? But in fact, this refers to keeping your crosshairs on areas of the screen where enemies are likely to show up. So, for example, when you walk through a doorway in Sniper Elite 4 into a small interior space, keeping your crosshair at roughly head or upper body height and aiming around the corners as you move maximizes your chance of getting a shot off quickly when an enemy appears. At more of a distance, pre-aiming is also about pre-scoping. In Sniper Elite 4 specifically, whenever you see a guard tower like this one, you should not only be moving while keeping your crosshairs on it, but also scoping in on sight. The AI enemies may not be going anywhere in a hurry, but it's good training for a multiplayer environment where your targets are almost always on the move. If you made it this far, congratulations, because we're about to cover the most easy transformation in this whole video, and it's all about your mouse or controller sensitivity. Most of us don't put a whole lot of thought into our mouse DPI or the exact options menu sensitivity setting for our controller's X and Y axes, but we're missing a lot of aiming performance if we don't. This isn't a one-size-fits-all thing, but generally speaking, a lot of us are using a lot more sensitivity than we need, and than we can actually control very well, even. Try reducing the sensitivity value in the game options by half and see how that feels. If you're making wild circles with your mouse on the mouse mat and getting nowhere near your targets, you should probably raise it again, but in small increments until you find something that feels easy and natural. For a rough reference point, a lot of CSGO pros use somewhere between 400 and 800 DPI. If you normally play with a much more sensitive setting, it takes a lot of getting used to, and pre-aiming becomes a lot more important playing like this.
Ammo's almost on empty.
Right, the settings are on point. The maps are like the faces of our closest family. The DPI is honed within 1 point. Our entire house is now also immaculately tidy, because procrastination is addictive. We've done everything but actually shoot stuff, so it's time to do that now. In Sniper Elite 4, the shooting range is a great place to work on all aspects of your aim, from accounting for bullet drop and wind, to tracking moving targets and scoping in quickly on distant ones. Spend some time beating your own high scores here, and you will get better, not just at this game, but at any game that rewards you for putting a crosshair on someone's head and pulling the trigger. As we've mentioned before in previous videos, browser-based tools like 3D Aim Trainer here can be useful too. If you're feeling too familiar with Sniper Elite 4's cardboard cutout routines, this will shake you out of your comfort zone or help to work on specific weaknesses with its various exercises. There we are then, a few quick tips that will get you well on the way to being better with a gun in Sniper Elite 4, but also in Quake or COD or anything else with bullets basically. Tell us what helped you to refine your technique below, subscribe for more, leave us a like if any of our tips helped, and we'll catch you next time.